Welcome back everybody to Glenn's Workshop. Yesterday I recorded the first episode of this, which was the full dismantle of everything and clean everything up, but apparently the files were corrupt, so I couldn't put them up. So today we're going to start with part number 2, but first one you'll see. So what I've already done is we've already cleaned off all the parts and everything, so now all the motor and everything of the Ryobi is all now clean to where I want it to be. Compared to how it was, it's definitely a lot better. So today we went out and we got some new fuel line, because the fuel line was so old that it just breaks apart. So we got some new fuel line. We got a new primer bulb because the primer bulb was gone / missing / used for something else. So now I think what we'll do is we'll fully reassemble again and get everything going, and hopefully it ticks along nicely. Alright, so we'll just start off with all this stuff. Now I think we're going to start with reassembling the motor assembly again and getting the new primer bulb and everything put on with the new fuel line. Just get all these back together again. Everything did clean up really nicely yesterday, but unfortunately you guys won't see any of that. I'm not sure what was wrong with the footage, but it definitely did not want to upload to YouTube last night. I'm pretty sure once all this gets back together again, it's going to definitely fire up a lot better with the new primer bulb. It'll be a hell of a lot easier to start where it came to us, because they were having a lot of problems starting. Wouldn't fire, wouldn't turn over very well. Yeah, once we got all the dirt and grime and everything off it yesterday, it was definitely covered in a lot of grime, as Weedeaters do over the years. Get the carburetor back on again. The gasket on the carburetor was really good, so we're going to reuse that one. Today I couldn't find any gasket kits or anything for it, so we're just going to have to try and get away with how it is. Where those other bolts gone? Right, go. Just get the new fuel line pop back into the bottom. sure that we are going to be able to get it all up and around everything. Make sure there's going to be enough fuel line to go round and down. Just cut a long piece off and then we'll trim it up later on. The fuel line is a little bit thicker than the stuff that was on there, but why that is we want to make sure that it is going to seal good at the bottom of the tank, where with the thicker stuff it'll definitely hold itself a bit nicer inside of there. Just undo this again and get that tank back on. We do have some exciting new things coming up in the next few episodes. My truck for some reason is starting to, the wheels are starting, the brakes are starting to squeal, so we're definitely going to have a look into that and see what's going on. I'm pretty sure that it's either going to be some rocks in there or we're going to need some new brake pads, so we'll have a look into that. Get one popped onto there. This one here is just the return to the tank again, but we're going to put it all through the primer bulb, which it did not have when I received it. Beautiful day here today in New Zealand. Beautiful New Zealand weather. There we go. Just tighten up all of that. Wonderful. Much better. So down inside there's the two fuel lines. With the blue one is the return, and then the clear one is the one going to the carburetor at the top. What we might do is I might extend that one a little bit more, because by the looks of it, the blue one, I knew I should have done that to begin with. So that one there, we just put in there is for the main fuel line. should pop through the back there. And the other one is going to be for the return line, which I had to just make a little bit longer. We'll just make sure that it's not leaking. Beautiful. Beautiful, then the main return line. So now you just got to make sure that when you do put it together that everything is going into the right ones. So your main fuel line, which is this one here, your main fuel line has to be pushing out when you pump it. Has to be pushing out. So that one there's got to go onto that one. So when you push the bulb will suck the fuel out of the tank. Beautiful. And then this one here goes right from the bulb then through to the inlet of the carburetor. So that one might be just a little bit too short, but we'll give it a go. So yeah, when we actually did first get this, the primer bulb was gone, so we did source one of those today. So I'm glad it was quite a simple process to find another one. All that's going to fit. Now this other line here does come back around, and that's the one that goes through and into the overflow. So now that everything is all new on the fuel lines, it is definitely going to like it a lot more than what it was before. Beautiful, I think that's a win. I'm not going to completely put the primer bulb in yet, just in case, because once they do fall into place they can be a little bit difficult to take back out again. Excellent. Well, we'll just grab a pair of scissors there somewhere. Beautiful. Rightio. And we'll just pop the choke and everything back on properly. Get it all screwed back down again. Excellent. Gee, the benches get messy quick. Once you pull everything out and get everything ready to go, they always seem to be 5 times as messy as it was before. So that there is in full choke mode there. Half open, full open. So half choke, full choke, half, and full open. We can probably do a little bit of a test before we actually go any further. We'll just make sure that the fuel is going to get down and into the carburetor. So we'll just drop just a little amount down in there, and we'll just make sure that it is actually going to suck it up and through before we carry on much further. Of course, I don't want to put too much in the main bottle of the Weedeater yet, so we'll put some into here and then we'll just squeeze some into the tank. just quickly get a little bit in there, just enough to cover the bottom, so that we've got enough going through. So we'll just float ball's working, and it is going down and out. Look at that. Excellent. Right, so we'll put that back on first of all, make sure we don't spill anything anywhere. Right, we'll pop that all back together once we've got it all back going again. Right, let's get the exhaust and everything on. I am kind of gutted that yesterday, all that recording that I did to dismantle and make sure everything was beautifully clean, just got corrupted somehow. So I'm not sure whether I did something wrong or whether the memory card or something, I'm not entirely sure. But we'll definitely be a bit careful next time. Beautiful. Right. We'll just pop the spark plug back in again. I have actually gapped it, so the gap was a little bit smaller, so we did just open it up just a little bit more. At least now we know that it's going to get a really nice spark. Beautiful. The on and off switch, which goes to the coils to allow it to have spark. So that's what just grounds out the coil when something, when you turn it off, it'll shut everything down. Just got to make sure that it goes into its little keeper here. And also make sure the shaft goes directly into the main shaft of the Weedeater. Beautiful. I'll just get the accelerator cable . We'll only put a couple of screws in there for now, just until we get everything all buttoned up, and then once we've got everything in there, then we'll tighten it all up. Be helpful if you can actually see properly. Now, if one of you could hold it, that would be amazing. better. Helps if it's actually going around the right way. Just put this one on the bottom, and then the stand of it will actually hold it up for us. Once you set them properly, there's always something that always slows it down. Of course, the other side's held up by the shroud that covers the rest of the carburetor and the exhaust. But that'll at least be able to hold it up now. Yeah, it's better. The on and off switch is a little bit loose, so we may have to pull that off in a little bit, and we'll see what she does. Right, we'll get the accelerator plugged in. See if we can twist yours around enough to see where it needs to go. Did have a little torch around here somewhere. No, seemed to have disappeared on me. These little cables, they can be a little bit fiddly when you're trying to get them back in again. There we go. Now there's meant to be one little clip somewhere. There she is. I'll flip it round and then you guys can actually see what we're doing there. So there we go. That's a bit nicer to see. Sorry about that. We just pushed the pause button on the GoPro. Struggling to get the accelerator cable put back through again. There is a line that it sits through. There we go. Just push it through a little bit more just to make sure that's where she's going to stay. Make sure she's coming all the way back. Set it back a little bit further. That's more like it. Right, now we'll get the back moulding piece back on again, which covers over everything else, and then we'll give it a pull and see what she does. Oh yeah, it does look way nicer now that she had a good clean, that's for sure. It's amazing what just a little bit of degreaser and a rag will do. Sorry about the glare tonight too. We've because of the degreaser and everything I've been using, the garage is a little bit fumey, so we've had to open up the garage door a little bit, which allows the sun to come through. One more in and we'll give it a fight. Okay, so the GoPro had a little bit of a wear. It decided it was getting a little bit too hot, so it turned itself off. So now that we've given it about 10 minutes, it seems to be okay now. So we're at the stage now of we're just going to pop the last couple of screws in, and then we'll put it on the ground, give it a couple of pulls and see what she does. I must say, for the first project of this new expedition, it does feel nice to be getting my hands dirty again. It has been many years since I've even tried to fix anything mechanical. But we're going to be doing a lot more of it from now on, so I hope you guys enjoy all the content that we put out. And it's the last one. Alright, we'll just give it a little bit of a wipe over, make sure everything's all nice and tight everywhere else, and then we'll give it a kick. Okay, so we had a go at firing her up, but she's just not holding a rev, so she'll start fire. So what I'm thinking is that the carburetor is definitely blocked in one way or another. So you can push the float bowl, or you can push the primer pad, which will inject fuel into her, and then as soon as it's used that fuel, then it'll die out on us pretty quick. So what I thought was I should have just done it to begin with, and I'll take the carburetor off and we will have a look at the carburetor and just check everything inside of there is okay. So now that should by rights be able to pump out. As soon as you press the primer bulb, so we're definitely getting fuel to the carburetor. Right, we'll put this one aside. Just see if we can find that little screw. screw to just block off that pipe. More like it. What we'll do, see, it looked really clean and I didn't think that there'd be anything wrong with the carb. But just giving it a few pulls and then starting and then stopping normally tells me there's a blockage somewhere. So what we'll do, we'll pull this diaphragm off. Inside of there you got a little diaphragm that moves up and down. And we'll pull that off and just make sure that she's still moving freely. This is where we've got to be a little bit careful though, or else we could break the little paper that's in there holding it all together. Oh, she is pretty crispy. See if we can take it apart without ripping it in any way. Come on, baby. There we go. See, so that diaphragm pumps. That's how it actually injects. That's how it actually pushes fuel through into the carburetor. So that's what moves freely up and down. It's a little bit crispy, so you can kind of hear it a little bit, but I wouldn't think that that would be anything major. Right, let's have a look inside of here and just make sure that everything is looking okay. So it is actually moving freely, so this is the bit that allows the fuel to go through. There's just a little spring and seat underneath it, which keeps everything in place. We'll just see if we can get that one there off, and we'll just make sure everything's blocked on the inside. There we go. So everything does seem to be okay. The spring is definitely moving it up and down, and the galleries are definitely free. There is a little bit of trash just sitting inside of here. Let me just get a little bit of an air gun and we'll see if we can kind of blow it out a little bit. Excuse the noise. definitely a lot cleaner. Right. I wonder if it is the diaphragm. What we might do is tomorrow I'll make a couple of phone calls, see if we can get a new diaphragm. And if we can't get a new diaphragm, in the meantime I will soak this one overnight, see if it'll loosen up a little bit. Could be now the diaphragm's just a little bit too stiff now with old age. And okay, right. Okay, I'll touch base again tomorrow. Righty, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe if this is the type of thing that you enjoy. Leave a comment, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.